Hello, Dr. Goodman and myself, Martin Casado. We're here to do a little review on, we finally finished a long-term thing. Sorry for the little thing. This is the first printed version. This is not for resale. It's something that Amazon sends you to see if all the alignment and everything is correct. So this is what I have them to now. We are going to have all the printed books, and you can get everything on Amazon right now as the Kindle and the printed version. But I'd like to do a little intro myself. Martin Casado. I wrote this with Dr. Larry Goodman, who is here present with us. Say hello there, Larry.
Hi there.
Yes.
The first thing I've got to say about the book, when you say you wrote it with me, if anybody that reads it's going to figure it out, that you did the actual writing of it, and there's really not a day that goes by that every time I see it, I don't remember the day you called me from Barnes & Noble and you said, I got the title for our book. And I said, book? What book? And you said, Fridays with Goodman. And I went, well, a book, huh? Because you had been my Friday morning 9 a.m. coaching client.
Yeah.
And so seeing it reach this form is really very exciting. And I'm both grateful to you and looking very forward to sharing it with the world.
Yeah. Well, we also, in one of some of our sessions, you kind of like said, maybe this book should be, something like this should be written down, or because I would take a lot of notes on all the things.
Yeah.
All my things. You're like, and I was like, man, you should turn this into a book. And every week you're like, hey, so we should think about this book. And you kind of tried me in a sense, but I don't think you took it to the extent like you talk to your other clients that they all say they're going to do it and they're going to do it and they never do it. So you just, when this happened, you were a little
And I think that's been one of the take home lessons for me that has inspired me even in the rest of both my own life and my own coaching with people, is that if you give people a big enough why, be prepared to be amazed at what can be created. Because we created the book, but the whole bunch of the legwork that got done because you were willing to take the ball and run with it.
Right.
And that's a lesson for everybody and for me.
Well, this book was inspired by, every Friday morning we pick 9 a.m. It's a lot of explaining of our story inside the book, but it was basically a lot of transitions in my own life, trying to change old patterns, old triggers, old things that were going on. And a lot of things I started reading a lot, as you met, and when I met you, I was telling you how many books I read and all these things and all you'll see in the book.
And I put you on book restriction, remember?
I even got to the point of book restriction, but even all this, I was, my business was going down, my other stuff, like this lifestyle I was living was all kind of like crumbling down, and I was secretly happy about it, but I wanted to sustain it. You know what I mean? And that's how you met and how we established this relationship in the coaching, and it really changed my life. And I think to explain, I guess, a little of the process, you were at the time we're going like part-time in that clinic, whatever, remember, or something?
Oh yeah. So I had a job that I hated, that I was holding on to the illusion that I needed the money to enable me to do what I love to do. And the irony of it really was that it took for me, because of my own fear, it took for me reaching a point where I couldn't stand it anymore. I mean, I can remember the days would go and I'd come home from the clinic working 10-hour days, and I'd be in like such a foul mood that, God bless my wife, would say, why don't you just quit the job? Just quit the job. And I'd be, for some reason, because I'm a task oriented, and I to my own both benefit and detriment, I tend to finish what it is I start to do. Right. And so the answer was, well, I can't quite just quit because I don't have something in its place to take its place, until finally the straw that broke the camel's back happened, and I just was done.
I remember that, and that was how the book out of the outline of all of my notes and all the transitions and transformations that were happening in my life and techniques that you use in the NET and stuff like that, which is discussed in the book. I had all these notes, and it took me a while to formulate, and at the end of the day, I just kind of end of the months, like almost a year later, I started putting a table of contents together. And with that, it was like, all right, this is going to be our key thing. This is going to be our thing. And so on your every morning commute that you would have, we would speak. I don't know what days I think we would just coordinate that day. I don't remember how we coordinated the thing, but I would set up a microphone, and so I wouldn't have to take all these notes of what you were saying. I would set all of our, here's this topic. When I first met you, so-and-so, XYZ, and then I kind of inspired you to speak on your commute on your way to the clinic. So I had like a little microphone.
Yes, I remember now. Yeah.
I had a microphone, and I put my cell phone like in a cup or something. So it was kind of like the cell phone was here and the microphone was right here. And I would ask you all these questions. I'm like, oh, so and then that's how I kind of arranged it. I still have like so many other recordings for so many other books, but we had to narrow down.
The great irony of it really is, and what I've learned as things continue to evolve is that, and I've said this to many people as it's been said to me, for most people at a certain level of accomplishment, you don't need any more certifications. You don't need any more information. You just need to be willing to take a look at what it is you already know and look at it differently. And when you look at it differently, and it's funny now how things have even evolved since we finished the book, because now that the Goodman Factor is fully formed as anything is while it's in a state of living, breathing, and evolving, when we finally came up with the signature seminar, Your Goodest Life, I remember working with the fellas, and we came up with the Goodman lens and the glasses. And the point of it was, and still is even more so now, that when you see things through a different pair of glasses, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And it does. It gets so brilliant that you could need a pair of dark glasses to look through because it's so bright. And it's funny because as I'm sitting here now doing this recording, over my head there's a light. And there's a part of me that wants to put on a pair of
glasses on.
My own Goodest Life glasses.
That's the thing. I wanted you to have perfect lighting for this. So yes,
yeah, it's really perfect.
Well, that's a good point. And also, I think even so, when we started writing it, and to even get to that point of so much light, is even when the book was done, I think we were both like, do we need to learn more? Do we need it more? No, it became like, wow, this is practicing what we preach with this.
Well, the great irony is, and this is for anybody that's going to read the book or is stuck or whatever, that since all of the struggle that seemed to be in part how that book got written, that now you're in the midst of writing a book with more intention. And for the first time, I've got a title and a layout and a format for what my/our, we haven't even gotten to the discussion of that. The point is, for anybody, if you take the risk to believe in yourself and you be willing to be coached to see things differently and to do things differently, because that's the other part of this, is that insanity really is doing the same thing the same way and expecting a different outcome.
Right.
And that it really doesn't take a radical shift to create a radical change. It takes little things done consistently over time and paying attention to the feedback that life and the universe give you. And lo and behold, after a while, you wind up with a book.
Yeah.
And neither of us had ever written a book before. And neither of us had ever even thought of writing a book before.
It was definitely a long labor of love. I mean, between the writing it, the structuring, and then even when we first draft, your daughter was gonna help us in the editing. She's like, "Man, this guy, is he missing some screws? Is he is a terrible, because I'm not a writer. I wasn't a writer. I was a singer.
Yeah,
Grammar was terrible, but thank God for Pat, and she was our editor for the book, and she does.
Well, and the reason why Pat was so well suited to do that was because besides being my daughter's godmother,
Nice.
she's been through my breakthrough experience seminar, my version when I was doing John's work directly. She's been both a chiropractic patient and a coaching client of mine through the years. So the essence of what it was and what it is that I stand for, she was able to know and really take even some of the rougher format of our conversations and polish it to a level that I'd have to say was even necessarily better than what had been the spontaneous flow.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that was something I had to learn as well. Once the first draft, and then she sent her first preliminary one, I was like, that wasn't kind of how I written it, but I was like, I have to let go. We have to keep moving forward. And that was just something I had to come to terms with. And and then the whole feeling, by the time you work on it, I see it so many times on the computer. I even did an audio version, which is coming out soon, but to hold it in your hand, it was a whole other psychic energy. It was just like, oh my, it all sank in there. It was such a labor and doing all these things and all the steps, and even uploading the Amazon store, that was a whole other steps that I had to learn as well. I was like, I'll learn every single inch of this was a learning process, all the way from the writing to the illustrations to the setting it to the editor to the getting to little minute things in the details, talking with you to get things. It was all a journey, and yeah, I don't know, would I do it again? I delegate a lot more.
Well, see, that's the point. Unless and until you've done it by your own hand the first time, you don't even really know what's delegatable.
Right. True. That is very true. When we first started this, in my first notes here, I wanted to bring it out. You said, when we write this, it's going to be my journey, myself, the everyday, and my everyday process, Larry's journey, the wise man still learning, and in the end, it becomes the same. The outcome is the same.
Yep. Absolutely true.
It was an interesting part on that. So this book finally came to fruition. You can get it in the stores and Amazon. There's also in Kindle and in print. You'll see a lot of different things here in the drawing of this. Just explain a little bit of this drawing. If you see it, it was kind of a spontaneous drawing I had drawn. It was like showing that I thought I was so...
I'd like to think I have a little more hair, but maybe not.
It was an abstract drawing, but on the fly. But the essence of it, it was like somebody, you start thinking, reading all these books, and you're like, oh, I'm spiritual, I'm this. And the real true essence of it is we can't take ourselves too serious, Like, that's why I was putting the bunny ears on you. Like, yeah, just like the whole premise of the book is Joseph Campbell's "Follow Your Bliss," and we came in.
But don't quit your day job.
But don't quit your day job. So yeah, that was a major thing, and one of the biggest things that came to be, and also inspired by Fridays. I mean, what was that? Tuesdays in the morning, which I made an effort not to watch the movie until after I finished it. I didn't want any influence from it, but that title was like just so coincided with our Fridays meeting at 9 a.m. And that's what it was. Our meetings were 9 a.m. in the morning. We did, we would sit down in a chair. Buddy would greet me, your dog, and we would begin our sessions. And I didn't even know what I was kind of getting into, and you'll learn all that into the book. And
so we invite you to read the book. Yeah. Available for autograph. We're doing our first seminar, Your Goodest Life, or if you catch me around town. Or we may actually even do a book tour. You never know. That's the other thing I've learned is I don't ever say I'll never anymore, because so many things that I thought I'd never do are becoming the next thing for me to do.
All right. Yeah, all my nevers. That's one thing we've learned. All my nevers are all coming straight in like the next day on FedEx and UPS. And slap me in the face. So yeah, I've definitely learned that a big way. But yeah, again, it's like I'll share screen a little bit just to show where you can find the different parts here, and you can see here as Fridays with Goodman in the as far as the on the Kindle, and this one's on the print one. Just go to Fridays with Goodman, order there as well. And I'll show you the other thing, and then just one more little review here. I guess since we're up here and we have technology to do this, show you a little bit. This is the cover, and just show you a little rundown inside. You know, you also can see an assessment wheel. You want to talk a little bit about this, because some people might see this assessment wheel there, and just want you to explain a little bit.
Fair enough.
Get a phone call.
Fair enough. So when I started coaching, I wanted to come up with a tool that people could use to be a little more precise about how they were doing, besides I feel like crap. You know, because that's kind of global, it's kind of general, and it really doesn't reveal enough of where to go first in terms of crafting an insightful, inspired solution. And so there are 7 areas of life that my mentor, John DeMartini, works with: spiritual, mental, physical, financial, career, family, and social. And then it became apparent to me in working both in my own life and with people that there was an 8th area of life that bared evaluation as well, and that's recreation, because the origin of the word really is to recreate. And I find that people, whatever else they may have going on, one of the unmet needs that people have is they don't devote enough time and energy to recreation. And so when you put out, and you don't take the time to recharge, eventually you run out of juice. So anyway, what this tool I developed is, and it's available through the book and at the website as a PDF, is a tool where you score yourself for where you're at on a scale of 0 to 10, where 0 is a very low level and 10 is like fully evolved, fully formed. And then you connect the dots and you see what you get. And the point of it is, there used to be a song, I think it was by Steelers Wheel, don't quote me on it. And the song, the lyric says, "Life is like a wheel, help me roll it." Oh, it might be a Beatles song now that I think about it. Anyway, the point of it is that when you connect the dots on your graph, what you really wind up getting to see is how your life is rolling. And when you have a bumpy road because you've unattended certain critical areas of your life, every time you get to that area of void, like a flat tire goes thump, 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 your life tends to go thump, 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 thump. And so we put this out as a part of enabling me to accelerate the process of finding out where people's greatest perceived voids are, so that we know where to start the work. And so that's where the wheel came from.
Perfect. That's there in the book. You can also go to the website. It just showed a little bit how to. I have a couple bonuses from the book. Also in the book, we kind of made it a little interactive per se. You know, a lot of things that we discussed, a lot of things that we kind of made PDFs for, or we made little inscriptions at the bottom, and you'll see where to go and where you can type it in, or if you have it on the Kindle, you can just click on it. It takes you straight to the parts of the website. So yeah, it's kind of interactive. That was another thing I took a little long, is connecting the website to the book to make it, you know, as you're reading, if you want to look more in this stuff, you would see it more. So yeah, you have illustrations, you know, just at first, this one is kind of a groundhog's reference, you know, and seeing the shadow and my coffee and, you know, just the mundane things, and just the beginning of the workday, how I felt stuck in a hole like a groundhog. So that's just a little backstory on that. But you'll see our book and learn a lot of things. We have a lot of different illustrations. We put amazing quotes that kind of go into the book and into the story, and then you'll see some at the end. Dr. Larry Goodman would always put like little universal principles and universal laws. So at the end of each chapter, you'll see universal insights, because a lot of them, we didn't stick to most of the laws, but they were all interrelated. So we made it to universal insights. So you'll see so much more. Hope you get just go to the website, and I'll give you all the links. You can just go to Amazon and put Fridays with Goodman. We are up there and ready to go. I'll put some information on the bottom and have links to it, and all this modern stuff that we can apply to these videos now, and another thing in this learning process. So thank you. You have any closing notes, Larry? Or
I just hope anybody that reads it gets as much love and enjoyment and growth out of it as we got writing it.
Yes, very much so. So remember, get the book. If you want, just order. We'll send some if we can and do some sort of promotions, but we'll actually put a little signature on it and mail it out to you as well. So we're getting to that stage. But thank you very much. You can go to www.goodmanfactor.com. We can also send you the wheel, and we can do an assessment. We also have www.yourgoodestlife.com, and if you can actually schedule a call with Dr. Larry Goodman for 30 minutes, and you can also download the wheel before you even talk to him, before your assigned time that you give to talk with Larry for the 30 minutes, and I'll give a better assessment, and we'll go from there. And you can check out with the Goodman Factor, and Dr. Larry Goodman changed many lives, and especially myself, to even write a book is a good testimonial enough. So thank you, Dr. Larry Goodman, and that's our talk today. Go buy the book, Amazon, Fridays with Goodman. Thank you.